1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everybody, just a really quick video. I'm not even setting up the sound, although I probably should have because I had a little bit of weirdness there. And instead of taking the time to set up the sound, I took the time to record it again because I'm dumb. Anyway, just want to answer a question that I get pretty often from my students and parents of my students. And that question is, how much money should I spend on my student's first guitar? And the answer is, unequivocally, without a doubt, exactly, and no more than, I don't know. I mean, really, nobody knows. There's not like a set number. The reason there's not a set number is because the amount of money you spend on a guitar is not always equal to the quality of the guitar. That's the first thing. The second thing is, the quality of the guitar does not determine the quality of the guitarist. I had just last week a student new to my studio open up his guitar case, and he had a Ibanez Gem 777. I said, well, that's a really nice guitar. He said, thanks, I just got it. I said, well, that's an interesting choice, you know, 7 strings. It's a 7-string guitar. He said, well, I want to get the best. I want to be the best. I'm thinking, you know, before Ibanez made that guitar for Steve Vai, he was already a monster. And that's the thing. These brand name guitars that you see artists playing, it's not always that the artist chose to play that guitar for what that guitar is. Sometimes the guitar chose the artist, came with a bunch of money, and yeah, and the guitarist was already good. So that's one thing. The other thing is that if you gave Steve Vai something like this, which is not a Fender, it's a sort of a Super Tele knockoff that cost $67.50. Now, full disclosure, it did cost a little more than that, twice as much. It has a crack here in the, you can't quite see it, there's a crack here in the finish, doesn't affect the wood, and they took half off for that. It plays fine. It plays well within the parameters of its design, and that if you gave this instrument to someone like a Steve Vai, he would still sound like Steve Vai, and he would still be incredible. Because the guitar doesn't determine the guitarist. So long as it is in good repair and everything functions the way it's supposed to, the guitar is in 99% of the cases gonna be okay. The other reason that the money spent on a guitar doesn't equal the quality of the guitar necessarily is because modern technology has allowed so many smaller companies to use automated manufacturing that's pretty high quality to make guitars that are at least as good as a mid-range guitar was, you know, 20 years ago. And the other thing is that money is a stressor. It's a stressor for all of us. You're already paying a teacher to help your student learn, and you gotta buy a guitar, and you gotta buy straps, and it's gotta have a case, and oh, he doesn't have an amplifier, and it all adds up. And that stress can make it hard for the parent to be supportive in a positive way of the lessons and of the practicing. If you find yourself thinking, oh, I'm spending so much money on this, just go practice. And you say that to the kid, oh, you're wasting my money, or you're wasting my money because I'd rather spend my money on something else. That really makes it hard for the student to progress, and also makes it hard for the parent. So save yourselves some stress. If you've got a student who's just starting out, if you're just starting on an instrument, you just want to explore it, don't spend a bunch of money right out the gate. Look for some of these brands that don't charge quite as much, and find yourself a guitar that can still be quality and competitive in quality with some of these higher end things, especially since you're just starting out. A good place to find them, you can find them on Facebook now, right? The Marketplace is an excellent place for that. You still got your Craigslist. Where I live, there's the local news station, KSL. They have the website with a bunch of stuff on it and the things you want to look for in that situation. Now, this guitar is turned up right now, but it's been sitting quietly in my lap. If I take my hands off the strings, I'll get a little bit of noise, but that's because the strings are moving. But what I'm not getting a lot of noise from is the switch. You can hear the mechanical click, but you're not hearing an electric buzz or pop. Same thing with these volume and tone knobs. See how they're not, I'm twisting them and you're not hearing them? That's a good thing to look for. You want to look for any cracks in the neck, especially if the fingerboard is becoming separated. I see a lot of used guitars in that condition, and I have no idea what you people are doing to your guitars to create that, but stop it. And if you can, take somebody with you who knows a bit about guitars. I always go with my students if they want to go to music stores or even shopping used places. I go with my students and give them a little bit of feedback on what I think of the playability of the instrument. And that's all you really need. Something in the beginning that's going to hold tune, the intonation isn't whack, doesn't have a lot of extra noise in it. When you're dealing with a solid body guitar, if there's a chip or a crack, that's not such a big deal because the wood doesn't make as big a difference in sound. Some would argue any in sound, as if you had a crack in a face of an acoustic like that Teton neck. So that's what you need. If you maybe your teacher will go with you and do some shopping. I hope this helps you guys who have all these questions about this. Do you need a really expensive guitar? No, you don't. You don't. One other thing, when you've played for a bit, you start to want all the guitars you see. So you'll have other opportunities to buy another one. Starting out, don't waste the money. Peace and song.